For truly, we are getting closer and closer into the end times, and many signs that were said in the Bible are being fulfilled today. And I'm not saying this to scare you or to force you into following Jesus, but Jesus says to preach his word, and truly, we must lock in. Start now. For in the Bible it says today is the day of salvation. Don't say, oh, I'm going to seek the Lord tomorrow. Tomorrow's never promised. Don't say, oh, I'm going to seek the Lord later. Later isn't even promised either. And later turns into never. For truly, if we go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 26, King James Version, it speaks about one of the signs that were fulfilled today, when it says, wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. And the thing is, where did they find Jesus? In Egypt. And Egypt is a desert. And where did they find him again? In a secret chamber. For truly, many will be deceived for a lack of truth. For the Bible helps us grow in our relationship with God. God desires to have a relationship with us, for he loves us. He sent his son to die on the cross for us, saved us from everlasting damnation, condemnation from the lake of fire. But yet we choose to go the other direction. And the thing is, the Lord doesn't force us, but he loves us. Because if he were to force us to love him, force us to follow him, that wouldn't be true love. For truly, keep seeking the Lord. Lock in. For truly, Jesus expects his servants to be industrious and remain industrious until he returns. And industrious means hardworking, diligent, and habitually active. For we should be found faithful for when Jesus returns. And even in Luke chapter 12, verses 43 to 48 speaks about it, which says, if the master returns and finds that the servant has done a good job, there will be a reward. I tell you the truth, the master will put that servant in charge of all he owns. But what if the servant thinks my master won't be back for a while, and he begins beating the other servants, partying, and getting drunk? The master will return unannounced and unexpected, and he will cut the servant in pieces and banish him with the unfaithful. And a servant who thinks what the master wants but isn't prepared and doesn't carry out those instructions will be severely punished. But someone who does not know and then does something wrong will be punished only lightly. When someone has been given much, much will be required in return. And when someone has been entrusted with much, even more will be required. For truly, in these verses, it speaks about being ready for the Lord's coming when he returns, because we do not know when the true master will return and will come. And some more signs that have been fulfilled is rumors of wars and wars. Because when we even go to Luke chapter 21, verse 9, King James Version, it says, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Of course, in this verse, it speaks about how when we hear rumors of wars and wars happening, these will only be the beginning, signs of the end. And even in today's time, there's war in the Middle East. And the thing is, one thing that Philip Anthony Mitchell had also said is that anytime there is conflict in the Middle East, the believers should be paying attention. But also moving on to the Antichrist, because truly today there's some false prophets. And the crazy thing is, the spirit of the Antichrist is roaming around today. It was roaming around. Because the thing is, the Antichrist is anything that is against Christ. And the thing is, in 1 John chapter 4, verse 3 also speaks about it, which says, but if someone claims to be a prophet and does not acknowledge the truth about Jesus, that person is not from God. Such a person has the spirit of the Antichrist, which you heard is coming into the world and is indeed already here. Because the Antichrist is already here. The spirit of the Antichrist is already roaming around. Because anyone who refuses to accept the Lord has the spirit of the Antichrist. But here's the thing, which I love about in verse 4 in 1 John chapter 4, verses 4, it says, but you belong to God. You belong to God. We don't belong to the world. We belong to God. My dear children, you have already won a victory over those people, because the Spirit who lives in you is greater than the spirit who lives in the world. For truly be mindful of who you hear about the word. Don't be easily deceived. Don't be naive. And that's where spiritual maturity comes in. Knowing the word, being able to discern what is from God and what isn't. If you don't have that, it's okay. For ask the Lord to give you spiritual maturity. Keep on seeking the Lord. Keep on getting more knowledge about Him, getting to know Him more, growing in your relationship with Him. But this Antichrist could either be AI, a hologram, a hallucination, or a person. Because truly, AI is getting so real nowadays, you can barely tell if it's real or not. And even AI started to look and speak like humans. And even in Daniel chapter 7 verse 25 speaks about what the Antichrist will do, which says he will defy the Most High and oppress the holy people of the Most High. He will try to change their sacred festivals and laws, and they will be placed under his control for a time, times, and a half a time. And the thing is, in the Bible and Revelation, it speaks about how the Antichrist will be given power. But truly, God will come in full power. But yeah, truly, they are making highly advanced real-time talking AI, which is also being deployed in real life. Not only that, but what I also searched up was that agents can hold natural fluid conversations with human-like voices. And what's also crazy is that in some cases, visual avatars that mimic human expressions in real time. And that also reminds me of the Antichrist, because mimicking human-like voices, yeah. But truly, AI is getting more advanced, and paper money is decreasing, and crypto is increasing. But truly, in Revelation chapter 13, verse 17, even speaks about how those that have the mark of the beast can either buy or sell. And that makes me think of how we'll have a cashless society, because we won't even need to use cash anymore, but the mark of the beast. And that makes me think of AI. But that's just my opinion. But truly, there are more and more signs unfolding, and we are getting closer and closer into the coming of Christ. And I'm not saying this to worry you or scare you, but keep seeking the Lord. For those who endure unto the end will be saved. For don't worry, because with God nothing shall be impossible. Remember, if you're hated, always remember that Jesus was hated first. But truly, keep the faith. Become intimate with the Lord if you're not. Start now. Truly seek the Lord, for He desires to have a relationship with you. For lock-in. But I hope you got an understanding of what was explained today, and truly, Jesus loves you.